you don't believe me, just think about the great accomplishments of this class as delineated by James Sawyer just a few minutes ago. And listen carefully to the words of our opening Convocation speaker today. His still young career has been spent on the cutting edge of digital communications and scientific discovery. Yet he believes that it is the person-to-person educational experience that he enjoyed here at Misericordia University that indeed made the difference in his life. When Misericordia opened its doors in 1924, no one could even imagine digital communications. And when the Sisters of Mercy were founded in the early 1830s in Ireland, the general public had few books. Nobody had a Kindle. But what our founders and our sponsors and those who helped them build this beautiful university did have was insight. They knew that regardless of the changes that the future held, that the charisms of mercy, of service, of justice, and of hospitality would be long-lasting. They also knew that Misericordia would provide each new student the best personalized college education available anywhere. The faculty and the staff of Misericordia promise you, class of 2015, just that. Welcome to Misericordia. And now I ask Jonathan Brassington, a trustee and member of the class of 1995, to introduce our key speaker for the day.
Pleasure to present to you Mark Fung A-Fat, graduate of the class of 91, so that you may bestow upon him the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Mark Fung A-Fat, as a senior leader with 18 years experience in the field of information technology, who've implemented software solutions for a variety of businesses, proven your ability to analyze and understand complex processes and technology, so to enable great productivity and competitiveness. A native of Guyana, South America, who were the second of 4 brothers to attend what was then College Misericordia. While a student, you played on the soccer team and received the Teresa and Frank Maiden Award. That award is presented annually to a student who by vote academic officer and the chief student affairs officer most nearly represents the ideal Misericordia man or woman with respect to the courage, intellectual vigor, and participation in a variety of activities. After earning a bachelor's degree in computer science and mathematics with honors from Misericordia, you continued your education and earned a master's at Queenstown University. As a working professional, you achieved rapid success as a full-time consultant at Computer Aid in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Assigned to senior technical resources to several large companies, you managed teams of developers working with customers as large as Walt Disney, Bethlehem Steel, Air Products and Chemicals, and Pennsylvania Power and Light. You continued to excel in the field of information technology with your current position as Director of Software Development for all of operations at the Massachusetts Medical Society, publisher of the famous New England Journal of Medicine. You are responsible for the day-to-day allocation and planning of critical information technology staff and resources that enable your multifaceted organization to function so well. A leader in innovation planning, you manage the company's migration from the mainframe environment to PC service internet-based system in a culture that launched new growth on online business for the New England Journal of Medicine and ancillary publications. Mr. Fung A-Fat, through a strenuous academic study, careful planning, dedication, and desire to achieve career excellence, you have become a leader in information technology field and distinguished among us. Misericordia University. And so by the virtue vested in me and Chairman John Metz, by the Board of Trustees, and given to them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I do hereby confer upon Mark A. Fung A-Fat an honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, honest history, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. McDowell. And for a second there, when he was talking about anxiety and nerves, I was wondering if he was talking to people, but I think he was talking to parents. Interesting story before I begin. But several months ago, when I got the call from Misericordia, they were asking me if I'd be interested in giving a speech. I thought, hey, this would be great. I'll go back to my own college. I get a chance to see freshmen and see the campus. So I shared this with a friend of mine. And he looked at me and he said, so what are you going to do? I said, what do you mean? I think it's a great opportunity. I should do this. He goes, what are you, crazy? I said, why? I said, well, think about it. You're going to be giving a speech to a bunch of 18-year-olds. What do you want to tell these kids? They already know everything. So, but when I heard Jane go through that list, I think he might have been right. I think except for the one, the guy just turned 18. Maybe he just needs about 1 or 2 more days before he knows everything. But I was very impressed, and it is indeed an honor to be here. I would just like to mention 2 things before I begin my talk. One is, I would really like to thank the faculty, the staff, and the Misericordia community. Because when I went to this college, this was not my backup college. This was not my second choice. This was my only choice. My family did not know about the educational systems in the United States, but through Misericordia, 4 boys went to college and have an education and have a career because of the generosity of the school. So on behalf of my family, I would like to say thank you to Misericordia. Secondly, most importantly, to the incoming freshmen, welcome on behalf of the Misericordia alumni, community, faculty, and staff. Welcome. Well done. Good job. It has been a long journey, and I think you can be congratulated. I know it's been tedious. College applications, the SATs, writing those application letters, maybe your parents helped you a little bit. But you pretty much went through a pretty harrowing process. All of that, and there were those anxious, endless moments of waiting for that acceptance letter. And you're finally here. Welcome, and we're looking forward to you doing great things. Just as importantly, the parents, and the relatives sitting in the back. I know I'm late in saying this because I'm sure that your 18, 17-year-old kids told you when you dropped them off that, we appreciate how much you invested in us. Thank you so much. When we were so rebellious, we didn't know what we were talking about, but you were so wise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just in case they didn't, I will say from them, well done. You have really taken your task seriously. You have produced a great crew of men and women whose accomplishments you just heard you should be well proud of. And you should also be proud of yourselves. More importantly, as they go through these next 4 years, even though they may consider themselves now adults, independent, free, over the next 4 years, and probably longer, they will be looking forward and need your guidance, their support, and their love. Yes, they do still need that. So I encourage you to be there for them, to believe in them. For the students, just remember that. Now, to the formal part of my speech. And I started with a question. Why go to college? Why you go to university or any college? And now that you're here, you've obviously chosen. Why Misericordia? As Dr. McDowell previously noted, I work in Boston, and it is amazing the strides that we've made in technology. MIT OpenCourseWare, YouTube, Khan Academy, some of you have heard of that. Distance learning, University of Phoenix. There are tons of other learning opportunities. If you really want to learn to be an engineer, an accountant, a plumber, an English major, you don't really need to go to college. You can download all the courses online. iPad, Kindle, all of these things can hold more books than a library. All you need is a camera and a PC. We do that right now. In my company, we frequently work with India companies across the world, all done through high-speed digital transmission. Why go to college? Well, the answer, at least for Misericordia, is very simple. Misericordia always has been, and I hope will always continue to be, a place where you will not only earn a degree, you will also earn an education. And there is a big difference. There is a big difference. And to understand why Misericordia is such a different place and has such a unique culture, you really need to go back into the history of the school and its founding mission. Misericordia was founded in 1924, and the main reason is to educate and to teach the families of the coal miners that are living in the region. The first class in this four-year institution consists of 37 students. Now, I sincerely doubt that the goal of that first class was to become better educated coal miners. And that has never been the goal of Misericordia. Not just to teach you how to be a mathematician, or a biologist, or a lawyer, or a doctor. The goal was always to create leaders. The goal was to create individuals who went above and beyond their jobs and really took to heart the founding principles of this university, which were justice, mercy, service, and hospitality. And what was very encouraging for me to hear was, as the roll call was read, I heard and I saw very, very tangible experiences of these four principles in all of the students coming here. So I would say to the administration staff, you have done an excellent job in choosing the group that is sitting before us today. One of the main strengths of College Misericordia, more than this beautiful gymnasium, which didn't exist when I got here, or the dormitories, or the great food in the cafeteria, the fried food, but it is very good. I have been to several other colleges and universities, much bigger. The food's not that great. Put it mildly, the food here is really good. So, but beyond that, what distinguishes Misericordia from every other college or university that I have been in is the dedication of the staff to the individuals and to their growth and education. The staff and faculty here are not, they are not pursuing their own career interests. They're not primarily focused on research or grants or publishing papers. Their sole focus is on your education and the development of you as an individual. So that is the reason why Misericordia, even though it is a small college, I think the total student population of undergrads is only about 2,000. Misericordia has always been a small college. My hope is it will always remain a small college. But Misericordia has never had a small mission. The mission and the goal of These are all things that you will have to learn. But they're also more important lessons. You will not only learn about balancing your academic careers or like to go to class, but you also learn about balancing your life. And you will also learn that learning sometimes is not easy. It is frustrating, it can be difficult, and it sometimes can be downright depressing. Contrary to what you see on TV or these I see on TV, where learning is always supposed to be fun and games, it doesn't always work that way. But what you will require, and probably what you will have assistance in developing, is the discipline of learning. And that will go far. I've shared this information or this story with one of the faculty here. One of the things I look for when I interview new employees for my company is not how well they can program, not how well they did in their computer science exams. What I'm looking for is how well they did with their English courses. How well did they do in history? How well did they do in psychology? And you may think that's kind of odd, but my reasoning is this. Quite frequently in your job, in your education, you will be asked to do things which you don't think are relevant to your major, you don't think, or which you may think are beneath you. How you handle those situations says a lot about your character. So discipline is a very, very key part of your learning. Because as you start to build this discipline, you will build habits. These habits will become actions. And these actions will be seen by your coworkers. They will be seen by your family members. They will be seen by your friends. The question you need to ask yourself, what kind of character do I want to be? What kind of friend do I want to be? What kind of coworker do I want to be? This is the type of learning that Misericordia environment provides beyond the classroom, beyond just the academic studies. It is said, and I know this is true because I read it on the internet, that the average U.S. worker will change their career 3 to 5 times in their lifetime. Now, knowing that, and if the math is right, you're graduating in 4 years. I think your parents are hoping you're graduating in 4 years. How do you prepare for a career or for a society that may change? How do you prepare for jobs that don't exist today, that may exist in 5 years or 10 years? When I went to Misericordia, cell phones didn't exist. I know that's hard for someone to believe. Texting is not a big thing. Writing letters is. But how? Texting, cell phones, online transaction, credit card payments over the internet did not exist. How do you prepare yourself for a future where you have no idea where technology will take us? And technology is affecting every single aspect of our lives. Our cars, our medical treatments, our learning, even the way we interact. How do you prepare for that? And the simple answer is by creating a passion and a discipline for learning. That is what we will find at College Misericordia University. It will always be College Misericordia. And the way that I always encourage students about this is that it is better to be corrected by your professors than by your bosses. It is better to not do well on an exam and do better the next time than fail on a project or work. It is better to have the difficult relationships to work it out here in college with your peers, with your professors, and with your coworkers. So those are the kind of things learn. But given the role of College Misericordia, I am more confident than in both. So in closing, I would just like to reiterate the key principles on which this university was founded, on which it continues to operate today: justice, mercy, service, and hospitality. And I would like to ask you this question. If you could cultivate the discipline to incorporate these principles into your professional career, how different do you think our communities and society would be? What would it look like if our doctors, our lawyers, and yes, our politicians reflected these core principles? How would we be better off? how will we interact with each other? What kind of spouses will we make? What kind of friends will we make? What kind of bosses will we make? So in closing, again, I would like to thank you for your time. Again, congratulations to not only the students and the incoming freshmen, but congratulations also to the parents. Well done.